Hey guys, I'm Heath Pierce. For most of Europe, 2016-17 league campaigns are in the books, and now it's time for some reflection. Oh, what a difference a year makes. Year in and year out, we're all thrown some surprises by both the clubs we love and the clubs we love to hate. Well, I am here today to give you an objective look at the major themes that decided if your team's season was quality or not. I do want to note that this is just going to focus on the league performances, even though we hate to ignore the magic of cup runs. Titles matter, but the true progress of a club is most obvious in the league, and we're going to give this a go first with the Premier League. This is very much a stat-based approach, so give this video a like if you're down with the numbers. If we get like 2,000 likes, we'll know you guys like this kind of video, and we'll give it a go with the other big leagues like La Liga and the Bundesliga. Some decent ammo for all those arguments us football fans find ourselves in, so let's do it. So for the Premier League, we had some major movements 1 year on. Here is what you need to know. Number 1. Fall of champions. Number 2, major changes in fortune. Number 3, disrupted top 4. And number 4, unpredictability reigns supreme. The first one on that list is obvious. Leicester, my God, what happened to you? The story of the century quickly turned into a relegation battle as the Foxes tried to defend the most unlikely title in the modern era. Ranieri's men went from clinching the title with a few match days to spare to a point out of relegation on Valentine's Day. A loss in the first leg of the Champions League round of 16 around the same time to Sevilla meant everyone's favorite grandpa Claudio Ranieri was out, but Leicester should have been looking to place more blame on their underperforming stars. Vardy and Mahrez contributed 23 less goals in the league as an attacking duo, and that just isn't acceptable for top-class players. As a former player, I know that form comes and goes, and that's really hard for outsiders to understand, but that much of a swing is too drastic. Leicester City should be excited though. Why? Well, they may just pull a Chelsea, going from winning the league to relegation battle for much of last year to again winning the league. Just keep the faith, you Foxes. And that brings us to number 2, major changes in fortune. Champions Chelsea delivered 43 more points than last year's forgettable campaign that saw Mourinho sacked, and under Conte, they became the first team to get 30 wins in a Premier League season. Their goal difference also jumped from +6 to +52 this year. Vardy and Mahrez should be putting up posters of Costa and Hazard on their bedroom walls to motivate them to flip that form again next year. Other drastic changes worth noting: Tottenham, who dodged St. Totteringham's Day, finally finished above Arsenal. They did so on the backs of a 16-point improvement and the first back-to-back Golden Boot winning Englishman since Michael Owen, the one and only Harry Kane. They also conceded the fewest goals at just 26 and had an unbeaten record at White Hart Lane. Poor Tottenham should be frightened though that they have to leave the ground behind for Wembley next year and could end up joining West Ham in a new stadium group therapy if they aren't careful. More on the poor Hammers in a second. Up in Liverpool, Klopp matched Tottenham's point improvement in his first full season in charge, and now they're back in the Champions League promised land. Oh, how they love a European night at Anfield. Everton also made a big leap by 14 points. City improved by 12 points under Pep, while Man United remained much the same under Mourinho, just 3 points better off. Sorry, Zlatan and Pogba just weren't enough, and that is a friendly reminder of how much work needs to be done at Old Trafford. They spent the most money on wages per point earned in the league, all to finish 6th and put Old Trafford to sleep with the lack of goals. It's no bueno. The biggest losers though, West Ham has to be mentioned. They went from 7th place on 62 points to losing their best player Payet and finishing 17 points off last year's total, just outside the relegation zone for most of the year. All with an average atmosphere at their new venue, which is certainly not the fans' fault. And the other big loser is Arsenal, which brings us to point number 3, a disrupted top 4. How many points do you think Arsenal had this year compared to last year? I dare you guess. Well, Arsenal finished the season 5th with 4 more points than last year when they finished in 2nd. They also had a better goal difference than last year, so with all the doom and gloom hashtag Wenger out, Arsenal actually were better. The concerning point is not their consistency. Wenger is perennially consistent. The concern is that the game is passing him by and they can't make that big leap to the top. With clubs like Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, City, and even Everton making such drastic improvements under new managers with new fresh ideas, Wenger just couldn't keep up, even with more points than last year. It is a sad state of affairs for Arsenal, but one thing for fans to be excited about in the Premier League is point number 4. That unpredictability continues to reign supreme. If you made a mini league of the top 6 teams in the Premier League, here's how they did. Liverpool would be top, while you could see why Arsenal are headed to the Europa League. That unpredictability shows through in a team like Liverpool going undefeated against the biggest, baddest sides while choking against the likes of Hull, Burnley, and Palace. And you look at the big game managers like Pep and Mourinho, you'd think that they would have been able to get more than 2 wins against any other of the top sides, but that just shows how tough and volatile the Premier League is. So, if your team was this year, my friends, be patient, because you're never as bad as you think you are when you lose, but word of caution as well, you're never as good as you think you are either. Give this video a like if you want to see us do this for the other big European leagues, and we'll start doing our research. And let us know how you think the trends will shape up for the 2017-18 season. Will Chelsea defend their title? Can Leicester push for European spots again? Will Manchester United score enough to challenge for a top spot? Follow, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.